Happy Friday to you. I'm here with Mark Chrisman of Residential Wholesale Mortgage. He's a mortgage consultant at the Point Loma branch. And you know, we talked about maybe new loan programs that are happening, and what we're going to be talking about today is what's called a shared equity second. So Mark, what is that?
So a shared equity second is a second lien that allows people who don't have 20% down to double their down payment.
Okay.
Rather than having mortgage payments, they're going to share the equity in that portion that they borrow.
That sounds like a good idea. So I know that there's other loan programs out there, and I'm assuming you can get something with a smaller down payment. Can you tell me a little bit about what's available?
So yeah, the shared equity seconds require the borrower to come in with 10% down. So there are FHA loans that only require 3.5% down, and we do have conventional and jumbo at 5% down. So it's there are other products that you could put less down, but for one, the FHA, the county limit, and for conventional, it's $690,000. So when you're talking about a property that might be here at the beach, you might not be in that loan amount if you only have 5% down, because most of the properties are.
Yeah, I mean the entry for a house around here is somewhere between $800,000 and $900,000. So. Yeah, that's a tough one.
So you
get
really
you into a condo.
So this is it's an option to avoid mortgage insurance as well, because mortgage insurance tax on obviously
$200, right?
Easily,
at least
on a loan amount that size.
Yeah.
And on top of the mortgage insurance, the payment, that also decreases the debt to income ratio.
Sure.
Increases debt to income ratio, which reduces what you qualify
for,
for a mortgage loan. So.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, with it's insurance, so you never gain equity on mortgage insurance. You're paying a couple $100 just to have insurance on the loan, right? Is that how it works?
And
basically?
It's no longer tax deductible either.
Oh,
so you don't get any benefit.
There's no benefit to it, but yet they're still charging it. So hey, how about that? So I mean, there is a loan program out there for everybody, and we're not trying to disqualify an FHA because it does work for people, and also the 5% conventional and the jumbo. It just really depends on your situation. But that leads us into, give me an example of a situation where this could help somebody get into a home.
Well, a good example here in the beach community would be somebody who might be a first-time home buyer, but you know, a lot of people are staying in school longer, getting graduate degrees.
Yes.
They get out of school and they're earning a lot of money. There's an acronym called HENRYs, which is high earner, not rich yet. That's, you know, for example, I have a client, they're both attorneys, but you know, they've only been practicing for 3 years. They make solid money to qualify for the mortgage payments, but they haven't been able to set aside the 10 or 20% down at this point. So someone like that who still wants to stay at the beach, wants to get into a home, if they can get to the 10% down, they can then get a match of that, the other 10% down through the shared equity second. There's no payment on it. You share in the appreciation of the home.
Yeah, the appreciation of the home.
They'll get into a house now rather than putting away $2,000-3,000 and waiting 2-3 years before they have 20%.
And really, how many of us have $2,000 to $3,000 a month to put away? I'm sorry, life is expensive down here, so it's really tough.
And you know, waiting to get into the market for 2 years can end up costing you more.
Exactly, as we've seen over the last several years, right?
So that's a perfect example of somebody who can get in with this product. The shared equity is not coming out of pocket. It's only on what the house earns. If the house did depreciate, they don't lose money.
Okay, that's a good point, because I forgot to ask that.
People aren't aware of that. You're never, the shared equity second also shares in the depreciation.
Oh.
So if you go to sell your house 3 years down the road and it was, let's say it dropped in value, or after realtor costs and everything, you didn't
make
get back what you had. You still have to pay back what you borrowed.
Okay. Pay off the loan piece, right?
The second lien mortgage part of it. So, but minus a percentage of that equity if it's decreased.
Oh, okay.
So, but if it increases, you only pay 35% of the appreciation. So it's not even a 50-50 split that way.
Well, that's pretty fair, especially, I mean, think of all the mortgage insurance that you're adding up month over month that you're paying. if you are in a situation like this. Again, everybody has a different situation, but I think it'd be a better way to go. I mean, ultimately.
And we can do cost benefit analysis.
Of course, no, I was just about to say that. And Mark can run a cost benefit analysis to make sure it's the right move for you. So,
yeah.
well, good.
There's another example would be where it's not necessarily a shortage of cash, but
Sure.
we have a lot of jumbo buyers who really are interested in the product because they want to stay liquid.
Okay, so just a note, when you say jumbo, you're talking about anything like above 690 as a jumbo?
Correct. One
Yeah.
amount about Jim 690, but I guess I'm referring more to somebody who, is buying a $1.5–2 million house.
Okay.
Even if they have a lot of money in the bank,
Mhm.
they want to keep that money in investments,
Sure.
or they have other,
Things they want to
want to stay liquid.
move their money into, yeah.
It's a way to borrow more without a payment
Yeah,
and keep that money where you want to keep it.
for sure.
Some people think that they're going to earn more
Mm-hmm.
in equities than they are in real estate.
Right.
These shared equity seconds just think that the real estate's going to earn more. That's why they're doing the program. So.
Well, everybody has their favorite investment,
Right,
right?
exactly.
So, is this really a hard program to qualify for?
It's not actually. If you qualify for the first mortgage, then you qualify for the shared equity second.
Okay.
They base it completely on the first mortgage approval.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to do due diligence on the property to make sure that they're getting in a good equity position, so that the value of the property is what you're paying.
Got it.
Other than that, there are no extra qualifications, and it's
Okay.
actually easier to qualify because you're not adding on
Mm-hmm.
mortgage insurance payments. You're getting
Right.
a lower loan amount,
Right.
so
Right.
it makes it easier to qualify for the first mortgage.
Mhm.
Therefore,
Yeah.
get
Makes
into a
total
higher.
sense.
Yeah, you can easily get into a significantly higher purchase price
Right.
with significantly less out of pocket.
And lower payments
lower
because you're coming
payments.
up with more down payment. One thing we didn't touch on, and I just train went off the track here. What was it we were talking about? Well, I guess it's for another discussion because I honestly can't come up with what I just had a thought about. All right, well, thank you so much, Mark, for your time today, and everybody have a great weekend. If you're in need of any open house information, or for my young professionals that are out there thinking about getting qualified but just you're lacking down payment, now that brings me to what I was going to say, is with this loan, Mark told me that you can come up, you really only have to come up with 5% of your own money. You can get a gift of 5%. Am I correct on this? Just
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong.
No?
And then you can get that 10% shared equity second that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So for
So-
those of you who are still feeling like, I don't even have 10%, if you can figure
Yeah.
something out with family, or anybody for that matter who wants to gift you
It
the
has to be
money.
family.
Does it have to be family?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, never.
But
But
it's-
does it have to be blood related?
It
Just
is
kidding.
very common though. I mean,
Yeah.
where, the parents want to give something, but,
Mm-hmm.
if someone's going in to buy an $800,000 house, they don't necessarily want to give them $160,000.
Yes, exactly.
But if you had, an $800,000 house and you had 40, your parents could gift you 40. You could get another 80 on the shared equity second. You're putting 20% down. You're putting $160,000
Voila,
down. And
right?
Getting
Yeah, so I do know, my mind, the wheels in my mind are turning, and I do have some clients that I'm definitely going to be discussing this with, because I think it's a really valid option for those of us trying to stay at the beach. So thanks again. Again, if you need any open house information for this weekend, or if you just have general real estate questions, I'm always here to help, and I appreciate you watching today.